Good morning. This is John from the Springs Mennonite Church, and I'm here today to start a new week. Now, last week, I spent the whole week talking about Peter, some of the things he did, some of the character flaws he displayed, and some of the strengths that he did. And so this week, I want to talk about his writings, 1st and 2nd Peter. So let's start today with 1st Peter chapter 1, verses 3, 4, and 6. So let's hear what it says. All praise to God, the Father of our Lord Jesus Christ. It is by his great mercy that we have been born again, because God raised Jesus Christ from the dead. Now we live with great expectation, and we have a priceless inheritance, an inheritance that is kept in heaven for you, pure and undefiled, beyond the reach of change and decay. So be truly glad. There is a wonderful joy ahead, even though you must endure many trials for a little while. Now think about Peter. He went from being a fisherman to being a disciple of Jesus, to being the disciple in many ways, and to being the foundation upon which Jesus said he would build his church. And then he falls away completely. And then he gets restored and he becomes the strength that we see or we saw in the book of Acts. So what does he write about? What is his enduring theme, if you will? Well, he states it here right in the beginning. All praise to God, our Father. It is by his great mercy that we have been born again. God's mercy grants us that which we do not deserve. God's grace is the unmerited favor of God that we cannot earn. It doesn't really matter who you are or who you have been. What matters is, who do you want to be? Do you want to be who you have been? Then fine, stay where you are. If you've walked with the Lord and you've had a reasonably good journey, okay, why not have an even better one? If you've never walked with God, why not try? Seriously, if you've never walked with God before, what do you really have to lose? Well, if it doesn't work out, you can always go back to your godless self. I mean, so you spend some time, not just a day or a moment, but you spend some time trying to find God and walk with him and see what he has to do. And if you decide, I don't want anything to do with that, okay, he'll let you walk away again. After all, that's where you started. So what have you got to lose by trying to walk with God? But here, Peter tells us that this walk with God is by his great mercy. It's not because we deserve it. It's not because we've done something to earn it. It's not because we have finally met some standard and therefore we are achievers. Mm-mm. It's unmerited. He just chooses to give us grace. Now, what kind of a God does that? What kind does anybody do that? Well, it takes a real special something. And, I try hard, as I suppose many of you do, but I don't always give grace. Oh, I feel terrible afterwards when I didn't. But I'm a sinner, just like you are. Maybe my sins are different, but they're still sins. And still, in the midst of all of that, God offers me unmerited favor. So he goes on to say here, now we live with great expectation, and we have a priceless inheritance. Inheritance is that which you get from somebody else. A lot of people are concerned about their inheritance. What am I going to get when mom and dad die? They're going to leave me something special. And it's almost always in terms of materialistic issues. Well, I'm not going to have a whole lot of material things to leave, except uh, my wife already says that I've already given away every thing that had a history to it to my kids, and that's probably true. The only exception is my grandfather's office chair. It's a big old wooden chair. I really like it. Faith doesn't like it because it kind of cracks and makes noises. And I've tried to fix it, and I fixed it one time, but I can't seem to fix it again. But none of the kids seem to want it, so I'm guessing at some point it'll go to a secondhand store or an auction or something, and maybe somebody will appreciate it. But I don't have any of those things to hand down. I decided a long time ago that um, they were better served being in the hands of my family than they were mine. But I have an inheritance that's greater than all that stuff. The inheritance I have, as it says here, is priceless. It's an inheritance kept in heaven, pure and undefiled beyond the reach of change and decay. What is that inheritance? That inheritance is the opportunity to be born again and walk with God. Now, being born again is a concept that Christians talk about. Lots of others do too. Peter talks about it some. You'll find more about it in the Gospel of John, if you first couple of chapters, if you want to go and look there. But basically, it's an opportunity to wipe the slate clean and start over. And when I start over, I get a tool. And the tool is called forgiveness. If I mess up, I can ask for forgiveness. If I mess up on behalf of someone else, I can ask for forgiveness. And in every case, the Lord will grant that forgiveness if I'm sincere in asking for it. So my inheritance is wonderful. In fact, Peter says, so be truly glad and be excited. It's a wonderful joy. He says ahead, I'll say even now. Yeah, there's struggles to go through. Yes, there'll be difficulties, trials, temptations, whatever words you want to use. But the joy is there's nothing that can separate me from God as long as I choose to walk with Him. And the same is true for you and everybody else. That's what Peter's theme is. I'll bring you some more ideas on his writing starting tomorrow and this whole week, actually. But if you have any concerns or you have any needs, let us know. We'll do whatever we can as fast as we can to help meet your need. Until tomorrow, have a wonderful day. God bless you. I'll talk to you again.